Today, now I am going to cover this common hibiscus. Now, this hibiscus is quite a huge family with lot of members spread out in many tropical countries, and India also has its own quite a few varieties of hibiscus. This is what I am showing is our local government school garden. In the border they have planted some hibiscus. So this is I think it's called Hibiscus sina-rosensis or something. I'll write the correct botanical name on the cover. This is the common and most popular hardy variety of hibiscus that is there. Also, it's one of the oldest varieties. This variety is celebrated in our Indian culture as it's important for worship of Mother Goddess, and then for daily worship. Then it has other spiritual and kind of cultural significance also. And this one, it's a very ancient garden plant. It must be there for hundreds and hundreds of years in our Desi gardens. And when I refer to Indian gardens, I don't mean the royal gardens and all. I'm talking about ordinary people who had gardens. Ordinary people, farmers and citizens. And in the olden days, all the plants what they selected were, they had multiple uses. Just for beauty, some things were grown, but by and large everything had a double or triple uses. So one of the factors that was important was that this watering was a headache in those days. Without electric power and all, with bore wells and all that, unlimited water supply and all was not there. People had to physically carry water, draw it from the well, and then feed the plants in the summer. So often they selected hardy plants which could withstand with minimum care. And this hibiscus also comes in that category. Here in this school garden, they don't do any watering or anything, but they have provided some mulch. And the plant is looking perfectly healthy in the peak of the main summer season has started in this coastal region, and then the plant is quite happily flowering away. Some 30-40 flowers are there from these 2-3 plants. Then also it's a important medicine. This flowers can be used, you can make herbal tea and all. Hibiscus tea, hibiscus juice also they make some concentrate. Then leaves are used as like a hair conditioner. Then lots of herbal properties are there. So regarding the herbal properties, it's a video by itself. I will not cover it in this. I am only looking at this plant now as a native garden plant for your biodiversity and all. Native, natural plant gardening, and then biodiversity gardening, this kind of category. Then this hibiscus provides nectar for some of the birds. That purple-headed sunbird and some of the other smaller nectar-drinking species, they come. So it gives nectar in the summer months when actually throughout the year this plant goes on flowering profusely. So it is native of India and this part of the world. India, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is ex-India only, Indian subcontinent, and then eastwards into all the way up to China, Thailand and all. And numerous variations, cultivars and all have made, and then these gardening specialists have pollinated different varieties and made so many colors and all. This is one of the original stock of those garden varieties what you see in so many hues and colors. It's a jungly variety, you can call it. And throughout the country you will find it in all kind of gardens, remote village gardens also. This one is a must. And if it is left to itself, you don't trim and all, it becomes a small tree, and very long lived also. It will live for hundreds of years. Then if you, it is amenable to chopping. If it grows too much, you can chop it at some 1 or 2 feet above the ground. It will in the correct season, it will come back vigorously once again. So it can be used for mulch. Then these cows and goats and all like to eat it in the hot weather because it's a cooling mucilaginous leaves. Then flowers are beautiful, and then it is self-maintaining. It doesn't need your pesticides and fertilizer and watering and care and all. Very hardy. It's one of those plant and forget species. So it's excellent plant for borders. This school people have planted it next to the compound, and if it is extended along the wall, it will make a nice green hedge with flashy red colors, flowers, and then it will provide some ambience for the whole garden. It will create a kind of a micro environment because these leaves will be breathing out moisture and oxygen. And if you want enclosed green kind of a ambience, then you can put plenty of these on the borders. And also as a standalone bush, it's quite nice. And propagation is very easy. You can take out this kind of stem. You can break it into some, cut it into some 5 or 10 pieces, and then put it into the moist earth and little bit care if you give, it will sprout. Easy to root and all. So this is one of the top this desi category flowering plants, hardy and all that. So this is essential. You must have this. According to me, a garden which is claiming to be natural and eco-friendly and all is incomplete without this hibiscus, this variety of hibiscus. About other hibiscuses and all, I'll cover one by one some of them which have gardening potential. For our purpose of biodiversity gardening, this one is a must. Get at least 1 or 2. If you have large spaces, all these landscape people and all can incorporate this into their projects. Those apartment buildings and parks and all can have plenty of this. They don't suck up resources. They don't need much maintenance expenses. They're colorful, hardy, evergreen. It has every single property needed for the parameters of this, a good garden plant, garden shrub. And I must say, our schools have done quite nicely after the government decided that they will have they'll encourage these primary schools to have kitchen gardens and teach children. They've planted banana, white eggs, then that golden champa is there, and then coconut, drumstick, jackfruit, pineapple. Then some flowering stuff also is there. There's a guava, curry leaf, and tulsi. This is where the small children, the little kids come, and then it's quite clean and nice, airy. This Dakshina Kannada government schools are well maintained, best in the country. They planted a lot of tulsi, and then some vegetable is there, that brinjal. I think they use all these vegetables for the midday lunch program. Then there is basella alba. So they've done some nice work. Children will grow up with some nice native trees, and that breadfruit also they have planted. Papaya is there. So that's a little bit about the common hibiscus plant.